תודה רבה.
בבקשה, תרגישי טוב.
עכשיו הם כולם היו מתחסנים, כי הוא שאל אותי מה עם ADSC. We had negotiations with Pfizer about what they could get from that deal. Obviously, it's not the numbers or the huge sums of money that they would get from the state of Israel. But what we promised them, and we do keep the promise, as you can see, that if we get the vaccine, we will be very efficient, we'll vaccinate big numbers of the Israeli population, a huge proportion in the Israeli population very soon, and Pfizer will be able to see how it influences, first of all, the level of the disease in Israel, the possibility to open the economy, different aspects of social life, whether there are any effects of the vaccination. We made it quite clear to Pfizer that we at any stage are not going to share any personal data, no private information about anyone vaccinated, but let's just say for the sake of the example, we will know how many people with, say, history of heart diseases had been vaccinated and whether there were any effects, any unfortunate cases, and so on and so forth.
So the current mass vaccination campaign raises several ethical issues. Many people are very preoccupied with the question of privacy. So I think this is something very important, and I know for sure that Israel is not going to give identified clinical data to Pfizer. On the other hand, it's extremely important to have the experience of Israel being submitted both to the World Health Organization and Pfizer in an unidentified way, so we can learn the lessons from Israel. I think it's a moral responsibility of Israel to get them the vaccines, and it's also our interest because we are finally in the same neighborhood, and we don't want to get new cases coming from the Palestinian Authority. So altogether, the question of privacy is important, but I think it's more reflecting the question of secrecy that unfortunately is part of these whole agreements. And in the long term, I'm more preoccupied about issues of social justice and looking on vulnerable groups that should get the vaccines.